Alright boys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time, my name is Solomon. I run a marketing agency for clothing brands and I help brands break past 10K months. So if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you want to know why 90% of brands fail and how to actually be the successful top 10% in the game. Now you may be asking, why should I trust you? Well, I'll actually show you right now. Turn the brightness down. Let's see if this bitch focuses up. Boom, 110K in less than 60 days. So that's one of many clients. I've worked with well over 50 brands at this point, me and my marketing agency and business owner, Noah. And really our whole goal is to give you guys the best service and really just give you guys a ton of free sauce out there. So a lot of the time people just want to sell you on a course, to sell you on some shit. I'm gonna be here just to help you out as a brand owner, especially if you're starting out in 2026. But yeah, if you guys do actually want to see a more in-depth video or more in-depth content, go follow my Instagram, solo_agency1. Also go click the link down below to get a hold of the free Miro board on how to actually have an optimized brand and how to actually hit those 10, 15, 20K months. It's completely free, do not charge, link down below. But yeah, man, without further ado, let's hop right into the video. All right, boys, let's hop right into it. Why 90% of clothing brands will fail in 2026, but most importantly, how to actually win instead. So I want to make this very clear. Let's start off with most brands don't fail because of effort. They fail because of having leverage. Now I'm gonna explain to you exactly what that means. Make sure to stay to the end because it is the most important part on how to actually succeed. So number one, why you're gonna fail, right? Mistake number one is starting a clothing brand for the wrong reason. I see this way too often. A lot of you fuckers out there think it's a get quick rich scheme. You think it's easy. You're gonna end up half-assing your brand. And the most important part, two most important parts, is you don't have enough capital and you just have delusional expectations. Now I'm gonna give you guys a prime example, right? If you have a bulk of, let's just say 1,000 pieces, right? And your profitability on each piece is $30, right? The most you can make is $3,000. So don't expect to hit a 10K a month if you don't even have the inventory or stock to hit a 10K a month, right? That's the first thing. Number two is you have to actually make sure you have the capital to even afford, obviously the bulk, to afford shipping, to afford paid ads, to afford a website, to afford just a little shit that you may not think of. Now, I'll get into it more into the end of how much you should actually have, but making sure you have capital and most importantly, being okay with losing money your first drop, right? A lot of you guys think it's a lot easy. Oh, maybe if I have 10,000 pieces and I sell each one for $100, like I'm gonna make a ton of money. No, this is not a get quick rich scheme. There's a reason why brand owners take a lot of time to actually have a reputable rep and actually make money, right? If you're just looking for like a quick way to get rich, just go fucking gamble. Don't start a brand. Put that shit all in black. All right, mistake number two is you guys have to know your cogs. You could be a great clothing brand owner, you could be a great designer, but if you aren't a good businessman, it's just gonna end up fucking you over in the long term. So what does COGS mean, right? Cost of goods sold, right? So your manufacturing costs, your fabric, your material, your shipping, your packaging, your labels and tags, your quality control overall, right? Because here's the thing, a lot of you guys are like, oh, well, I'm gonna sell this piece for $100 and I'm gonna sell 100 pieces, right? That's a 10K a month. Cool, that's 10K in revenue. How much does it cost to buy it? How much are you selling it? How much is it to actually ship it? Is it $10? Are you charging shipping? Right? Actually knowing, how much your fabric is, just overall knowing where you're at in the process as a business owner, right? Because that's what you are at the end of the day, is a business owner. If you guys do not keep track of this, you're gonna end up losing a lot of money in the long run, right? So overall, just knowing your numbers and your cost of goods sold so you can predictably actually and accurately know where your brand is at and how much money you're actually making, right? All right, mistake number three is your product is just not good enough. I'm sorry, but I would say 90% of all clothing brands on Instagram are either just absolute dog shit copy and paste, like tracksuits, it's an Atlanta streetwear graphic hoodie, or it's some double-waisted sweats with some distressing on it, right? Now, here's the thing. It's not bad to just copy and paste what's already working. I've seen it tons and tons of times with my clients. It's not a bad idea. If anything, I'd actually tell you guys to do that. Now, here's the thing, right, is there's a saturation problem. You guys have zero differentiation, and sometimes it's just a shit product. Sometimes you just have to accept that you guys have a bad product And the best way to test that is to post it on Instagram and actually get real feedback, right? And don't take it personal if you ask your homie, like, yo, is this hoodie good? Where it says, fucking get rich, hustle, and grind. If it's a shit product, then it's not going to sell and you're wasting your time. Another thing is you don't have a real ICP. What does this mean? Ideal customer profile. Who are you targeting? Is it that kind of, a peace and war type of vibe? Is it more of a Atlanta streetwear? Is it more of a premium feel, right? You have to know who you're marketing towards, because if you market to everyone, you're not marketing to anyone. That's the thing. You have to have an ICP, right? Who's your ideal profile? What do they look like? What do they wear? Is it a male? Is it a female? What is their age? You guys have to know this stuff, because knowing your ICP, you're going to be able to actually create a better product. So that is your mistake number 3, is your product is not good enough. All right. Mistake number 4 is zero intentional marketing, right? So you're not consistently posting organically, right? This is a very, very vital step. If you want a brand and if you are very serious about growth, you should be posting 2 times a day, absolute minimum. It literally takes you probably 5 minutes max to go outside, film some flat lays, maybe take a couple model pictures, maybe get a couple of model videos, whatever it may be. It doesn't take that much time to post. You guys have to understand, organically, the more you post, Instagram's gonna be pushing your stuff out. I mean, you get more views, a lot more likes, lead to a lot more SMS, to when you drop, you're gonna be getting a lot more sales. Next thing comes to marketing. You guys aren't running meta ads. I'm not sure why you guys think it doesn't work. I'm not sure why you guys don't run meta ads. Whether it's you hire someone, whether you run them yourself, you guys need to be running meta ads properly. All of the biggest brands are running ads for a reason, because it works. I'll get more into that of what it looks like to properly run ads. Now, the next thing is you have bad content in general, right? You guys just don't have good lighting. You guys just make your product look cheap by just throwing it on like a wood floor and filming it with like an iPhone 6. You guys take more you guys have to understand, a lot of time my clients will send me content and it looks more like a lifestyle photo shoot, and you don't know what you're actually looking at. You don't know if they're selling the pants, if it's the belt, or if it's the hoodie. You guys need to really focus and hone in on the product. And then you guys really just have delusional expectations. You guys genuinely think, and that's not everyone who's watching, but I've experienced, right, with working with a lot of brands, is you guys think that you're gonna have one product and it's gonna make you freaking 30K in 30 days. You guys need to understand that it is a process, and you guys have to be patient when starting a brand. You guys aren't gonna kick off right away. Now, good for you if you do, if you even just break even your first drop, that is still a good sign. Like, again, as a brand owner, you should mentally be prepared to lose money. So yeah, mistake number 4 is you guys have zero intentional marketing. Again, organic is everything. Posting on TikTok, posting on Instagram, posting on your story. It's just very, very important, because when you do start ads, it's just like literally just putting fuel on the fire. All right. Now, next is mistake number 5, right? One of the most important ones really is you guys only stay organic. You guys need paid ads once you guys get to those 10K months, and even before that, really, if you want to get a head start. Organic can only take you so far. Most brands end up plateauing at 10K months, and the biggest reason, there's 2 reasons. Number 1 is you guys just be doing boost posts. Please turn that off immediately. It's just going to burn your guys' money. And number 2 is you guys just end up hiring the wrong agency or the wrong people. You guys have to be very careful with who you hire. Just because they say they've ran ads, just because they could show you a Shopify screenshot, just because they, they have a bunch of, testimonials, doesn't mean they're the right agency. The best way to qualify an agency is, number 1, hop on a call with them, actually have them pull up live ad accounts of profitable ads, meaning identifying their break-even ROAS. So what's the ROAS they need to at least be somewhat profitable? It might be a 2x, a 3x. If you guys don't know, ROAS means return on ad spent. And then also have them show you, a couple of brands they're working with, have them show you what exactly they do. Because a lot of time, if you guys just hire someone for ads, it's going to end up killing you in the long run, because you need to hire someone that can do your website, email, SMS, ads, help you with organic content, content planning, because really they're going to be able to manage everything. What's going to happen if you hire someone just to run ads, they're going to start blaming you on what's not working. So yeah, mistake number 5 is you guys stay organic only, and there's a reason why a lot of brands plateau at 10K months. It's because they keep targeting that same follower audience, and at some point you guys are going to need to just switch it up because they're going to get tired of your same product. Not to say that you can't go organic, but it's just going to be a lot harder. All right, so the next thing is you guys do not have a good optimized website, right? So what does this mean, right? You have no SMS or email workflow. You guys have bad shipping times, bad prices, or just no offer or urgency. So starting off with the first one, right? No backend is you guys may have a good product. You may have really good consistency in posting, but they get to your website and it's absolute dog shit. You guys don't have flat lays, you don't have model pics, you don't have shipping times, you don't have a sizing chart, you guys don't have a CTA and clear urgency on why they should be ordering now. That is the most important thing I stress with a lot of my clients, because again, you guys could have a good product, you guys could get people on your site, you guys could be getting a ton of traffic and sessions, but your conversion rate might be shit. So typically when your conversion rate is shit, it's typically because you guys don't have a good website. Now another thing is having good backend like SMS or email, making sure you're updating them with how much stock is left, creating urgency, 15% off, flash sale. A lot of the time you can recover a good 20 to 40% of your recurring revenue back from well built out workflows, right? Another thing is you guys, again, just aren't organized with your shipping times and prices. You guys just don't have a solid back end on updating your customers. I've had a lot of instances where clients have a good product and sometimes it might not even be their fault. It might be the manufacturer's fault where their entire drop kind of gets pushed back. Now, what I would say is the best thing to do is to be updating them on your stories or make a reel, kind of explaining what's going on. Last thing kind of ties back into having in your website is having a good offer urgency. So your backend actual build out is very, very important when it comes to actually running your brand. So that right there in a nutshell is why exactly you're going to fail in 2026. Now, a lot of the time you guys really just need a reality shift. So what does this mean, right? Effort without systems is chaos, and I'll kind of break down what that means. Now, a lot of you guys may be used to the old model, right? So unpredictable scale, you guys are just going to drop some bullshit and sit there and hope that it's just going to work and somehow that people are going to start seeing your brand. You guys would just, post more and maybe that wouldn't even do it. You guys just hustle harder and then you give up when you don't see results, right? Here's the thing. Unpredictable scale is basically just kind of just throwing shit out there and seeing if it works. Sure, it might work sometimes, but if you guys are very serious about scaling past those 10K months or maybe even hitting your first 10K month, you guys need to have a predictable scale and actually have systems first and actually understanding the game of owning a brand. Now, that's exactly where this new model comes in. Having predictable acquisition, testing, and scaling, using paid leverage, the most important part. Like I was saying, putting systems first and actually understanding the entire game of having a good brand. Like I said, I've worked with probably well over 50 brands, and right off the bat, just looking at their profile, their Instagram profile, I can tell if they're having good sales or not. Because again, right, it's all about how are you structuring from your Instagram to your ads, to your website, to your creatives. Everything just ties in. So having predictable scale is very important. All right, now, assuming that your guys' attention span isn't cooked and you made it this far in the video, this is exactly how you're going to win, and this is exactly how you're going to be the top 10%. All right, so when you start a brand, the number one thing is having a good mindset, right? So accepting that you're going to lose money your first drop. It's all a learning experience, and like I was talking about, is making sure you actually have a minimum of $5,000 to invest and actually start your brand, right? Here's the thing is I understand a lot of you guys want to just fully commit in your brand, not work a job, not work a 9 to 5, and just start with like $1,000. I'm telling you, you're going to fail every single time. You guys need to be working some 9 to 5 or having some kind of steady income so that it could then support your clothing brand. And then slowly but surely you could start, taking less shifts on 9 to 5, working your brand more, and you start making more money in your brand. Because again, like you guys have to have the money to invest. And just honestly, overall, just being consistent with whatever you do in your brand, posting, making new products, running, profitable ads. You guys need to be consistent. So yeah, number one thing is really just having a good mindset going into it. If you have the mindset, everything else is going to fall in place, right? The second thing to be the top 10% is consistent branding, right? So number one, obviously, is just having a winning product. Having something that already works, but you put your own spin on it is, I would say, the best thing that prints typically for clients. having a strong ICP, like I was saying, ideal customer profile, you know, who you're marketing, what they look like, what they do on a daily basis, why they should even wear your brand over any other one is the most important thing. A lot of you guys have big egos out there and think that just because you're an Instagram brand that you're going to get sales. Here's the thing. If I have a white thermal from your brand that has 1,000 followers and you post it 3 times, and I have a white thermal that I could buy from like some like Peace and War or bigger brands like that, keep in mind it's an Instagram brand, so I don't know if your brand ships, but I know Peace and War has a big enough following that I know they ship and they have customers. Even if theirs is more expensive, if it's $100 and yours is $50, I'm buying Peace and War's brand every single time because they have trust, they have credibility, and they actually have probably have better quality than you as well. So making sure that you have consistent branding and strong branding is just very important. The Insta, the website content, it's all consistent, it all gets tied in. All right, organic content, kind of the same thing I've already mentioned a lot because it's very important. Posting a minimum of twice a day, updating your customers. And another thing too, I would say is getting micro influencers, getting ambassadors. A lot of my clients have use this ambassador program. It's completely free. You give out codes, have people promote your shit, and they get a small kickback of like 10%. Micro influencers always do well when you're running ads because again, it's that credibility that if they send it to an influencer and they're promoting it, it's probably because you ship. Okay. All right, this one's pretty important. It's having systems before you scale, right? So making sure all your backend is set up, right? Your abandoned cart emails, your post-purchase flows, your SMS is all set up and having an optimized website, right? Making sure that everything is actually in place for you guys to be successful because again, your backend is your most important part. Your front end is just posting and pushing out products. All right, number 5, right, is paid ads from day one. I cannot make it any more clear. I have made clothing brands $100,000 off paid ads. Now, not to say that you guys have to start with a big budget. You guys could start with anywhere, I'd recommend from $20 to $30 a day, slowly ramping up your budget. But running meta ads, please, please, please turn off boost posts. I'm telling you guys right now, boost posts is burning your money. TikTok ads are burning your money. Running meta ads is the way to do it. Now, on top of running meta ads is actually having a good creative outflow. Nowadays, with this new update, you need to make sure you're having a lot of concepts. If you guys are interested in a more in-depth video, just comment down below. And then obviously you have really for your brand, you only need to run 2 types of ads, right? It's your traffic, getting a lot of SMS or just a lot of SMS or profile visits. And then your sales ads where obviously you're actually bringing in sales. Those are the only 2 you really need to run. And then, like I was saying, right, just having a good budget for scaling anywhere from like $500 to $1,000 a month, and then making sure that you're actually profitable. So having a high return on ad spent, and really just being very consistent and watching it over. If you guys are interested in working with us, you guys can always click the link down below or go follow us on Instagrams at solo_agency1. Just DM me on there and we'll see if you guys qualify. I do only work with brands that are seriously committed and actually want to get to those 10K months or break past it. But anyways, enough of me promoting myself. Number 5, predictable scale, right? This is the last and most important one. Tracking your metrics, tracking what creatives work, controlling your revenue, and having a proven system and process in place. Now, for all of my clients, I give them a full notion and kind of back end to front and build of what they have to have in place in order to succeed. And I promise you, if you follow exactly, or if my clients follow exactly what I give them, they're going to have a good drop and actually be successful. Because if you guys are just, throwing out products, half-assing, not running ads, if you guys are posting once every, 2 weeks, you're just not going to get the traction you want. So making sure you're tracking all your metrics. What are you getting the most views on? What's being the most profitable in ads? When are most of your viewers on their phone? Just little shit like that is just very, very important and vital. I can't stress it enough. Now, with all that being said, right, the brands that break past 10K months understand predictability. If you guys don't know, I run a marketing agency and I help brands scale with paid systems. So that is kind of it for the end of the video. Again, my whole goal is to give you guys a ton of free sauce as a brand owner and really just shortcuts to success, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of brands. So how are you going to win and compete in such a quote unquote saturated kind of niche? But again, not to say that you have to understand, even though I'm sure there's a million brands on Instagram, there's also a billion buyers that are looking to buy something. So you need to make sure that your brand is the one that they want to buy from. So yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed the video, comment and like down below. Go ahead and get that free Miro board. Click the link down below. It's a Typeform. You should go follow my Insta. But without further ado, I will catch you boys in the next video.